Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to the Mindfulness Daily Practice. Today's topic is about the 10 Bulls. We're still on the 10 Bulls of Zen. Last time we talked about the searching for the bull. That was the first piece is the search for the bull. And now we're moving on to the next piece. So just a reminder, what's the 10 Bulls of Zen is kind of this search for self that we go through our meditation process, is likened to the finding and taming of a bull. So this kind of was brought on by I was talking about this Thai analogy of taming an elephant. So the mind can be like a wild animal, and for us to really be able to discover our true selves, our true nature, we need to tame the mind. And this is really interesting as I'm looking at these next two pieces about the bull. That really it's starts to move in that direction. So just to go back and say what's the search of the bull, and so all of these pictures. Again, just to back up a little more, this comes from a 12th century Chinese paintings. When it's a way to help us understand what the process of moving towards a more peaceful state, a greater understanding of self, is kind of what this analogy is all about. So the first bull is the search for the bull, and I'll read the poetry as well that goes along with this. The search for the bull. In the pasture of this world, I endlessly push aside tall grasses in search for the bull, following unnamed rivers, lost upon the interpenetrating paths of distant mountains, my strength failing and my vitality exhausted. I cannot find the bull. I only hear the locusts churring through the forest at night. And the comment is, the bull has never been lost. What need is there to search? Only because of separation from my true nature, I fail to find him. In the confusion of the senses, I lose even his tracks. Far from home, I see many crossroads, but which way is the right one I know not. Greed and fear, good and bad, entangle me. And so the second bull is kind of the topic of today. So this is called Discovering the Footprints. And here's the picture that goes along with it. And so discovering the footprints. Along the riverbank, under the trees, I discover footprints. Even under the fragrant grasses, I see his prints. Deep in remote mountains they are found. These traces no more can be hidden than one's nose looking heavenward. And the comment, again, is from Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. Understanding the teaching, I see the footprints of the bull. Then I learn that just as many utensils are made from one metal, so too are myriad entities made of the fabric of self. Unless I discriminate, how will I perceive the true from the untrue? Not yet having entered the gate, nevertheless I have discerned the path. I do like these kind of cryptic. So, just what where did Zen Flesh, Zen Bones? Where do these comments come from as well? I see that the interpretation here is a little different from my own interpretation. That really the bull just being the nature of the mind. This I think is a little bit more. Not yet having entered the gate, yet I have discerned the path. Seems like this seems like a Zen way of saying I have discovered the Dharma. So Let's see. For me, discovering the footprints is more of, I finally get the first glimpse of what this practice can do and where I'm going, and I can kind of see. It's like what we get when we have a few. And again, remembering there's nowhere to go. There's the practice is a practice of ease. It's a practice of surrendering. It's not a practice of trying really hard. And so understand that you don't get there, wherever there is, through trying. It's through patience and persistence that we eventually get a glimpse of the tracks. And I think of it more as having a little bit of time that you're actually focused on your object of meditation. And as you're focused, as you continue to stay focused on your object of meditation, it starts to become clear. You get a little glimpse of what the peace is like. You start to see what things are like when your constant chattering mind isn't constantly chattering. That you have your object of meditation being breath, for example. And as we focus on this object of meditation, and as we do it for longer periods of time, again, it's one of the reasons I talk about retreat, and maybe trying on retreat, because you can start, these steps for me become more apparent when I'm doing more than a daily practice. Because each time I practice each day, it's like I had all of the full catastrophe of my life around me as in the times that I'm not practicing. And on retreat, we have that space of really having that time to be mindful 24 hours a day. And of course, we're not mindful 24 hours a day even on retreat, but it's at least the space is there. The space is there for us to try to be, and that we can put our effort towards being present the full time. And I'd say after a little while, right? I guess I'll talk about this anecdotally, right? I get the first glimpse of the tracks. I can see as I am no longer thinking, as my thoughts, my awareness of thoughts becomes sharper, as I start to see my thoughts as they're forming instead of just seeing the thoughts as they're coming and going. I start to get a little glimpse of what my true nature is like. Maybe is that what it is? And no, maybe just a little glimpse of the peace that there is when my mind isn't constantly running. And I guess for me, that's what that the first footprints, the first few footprints that I discover. Oh, there's the bull. I'm starting to get a little idea of where I can go and what's possible. All right. So that's it for today's commentary. Next time we'll get into the third bull, but let's go ahead and get into our practice. So give it a try. See where you go. Maybe you'll catch a glimpse of the footprints today. So sit comfortably wherever you are. Sitting up straight and tall, with dignity, with purpose, here for a reason. What's your reason for being here today? Maybe connecting with that briefly before we get into our practice. And then shifting that, transforming that intention to staying focused. So all we need to do as we meditate is do our best to keep our attention focused on the object of meditation. And today, I'd like to invite you to bring your attention to your breath. So the breath, one of the nice things about the breath is that it's ever changing. So a little bit easier perhaps to pay attention to than the sensation of your cushion touching your buttocks, for example, because that sensation, although changes, it's relatively static. The breath, on the other hand, there's some constant change as we breathe. So maybe easier for us to tune into. The expansion, the stretching out of the belly as we breathe in. The release, the relaxation as we breathe out. And so with curious attention, can you notice time is filled with an infinite number of moments? Can you feel the state of your belly? What is your belly shaped like right now, right now, right now, right now? Constantly changing. Constantly moving with the breath. So curiosity can really be the key at holding your attention here in the present. What details can I feel about my belly expanding and contracting here in the present? How do I know that I'm breathing? What are the physical signs of my breath? And for me, in this t-shirt that I'm wearing today, I can feel this t-shirt very gently sliding across my skin. As my belly expands while I'm breathing in, I can feel it gently brushing against my skin. And then as I breathe out and my belly changes shape yet again, I can feel it, a little bit more space in there as the t-shirt begins to hang a little bit off of my skin. And that's just one way of noticing the breath, and I'm noticing at the belly, right? There are other places you can notice your breath as well. And remember that your mind may wander. You might have so much going on in your life that your mind wanders to all of those things. You may even be fantasizing about how things could be or about anything at all. The mind may go to the future, the mind may go to the past. It's all dependent on you and your state, how you are arriving today. So not worrying about the state of the mind, accepting it how it is today. And in that acceptance, every time you notice the mind wanders, just acknowledging it, acknowledging where the mind has gone before returning to focusing on the feeling of breathing. We have just over 5 minutes left in our practice time. And so I'll leave that time for silence, for you to work on your own. Keep the attention focused on the breath. Notice the details with curiosity. Observe your breath. Be present. right, well done. We've made it through our practice today. I'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right, thanks everybody for being here, joining in today's practice, listening to the commentary on the 10 bowls. I think that's it's a lot of fun. How'd your practice go today? And I just wanted to share with you, I tried to pay good attention to where my mind was going. And so I can give you a little commentary about my own process today, because it's always kind of fun and funny. So as I began, I thought, oh man, this is it, right? This is I feel so focused. I think I'm gonna stay focused, especially, I had the commentary about, my belly. Like, oh, this is really it. I'm in it. I'm gonna stay focused the whole time, and my mind isn't gonna wander. So first of all, that's a thought. And so seeing that already, this commentary already in and of itself is a thought. And then second, I found myself coming into this moment, which I tend to do, while I'm trying to meditate. Even in those periods of silence, I'm still thinking about what am I going to say at the end of the meditation, even though I don't really want to be thinking about that. I want to be staying focused on the meditation, and then so this is what came up. Is tomorrow I'm leaving for Malaysia for a few days, having a little road trip with my family into Malaysia. So we'll be heading over there, and so I'm not having a Thursday live. I'm not doing a Saturday live, so I can really be there and spend time with my family. And thinking about that, my mind started to go off. So I thought about that, because that's what I wanted to say now. And then as I thought about that, I started to think about more stuff related to my family. And then when we get back, then my one son is going on some trip, and so my other son will be here. And so, what are the things that we can do together? Here's something. Wow, it'll be so fun that I can let him choose what to do. Maybe we can go here and go there and do this together. Maybe will my other son be jealous that I'm doing this? All right, and so all of this comes up, and then I recognize, wait a minute. I'm not meditating anymore. I'm no longer doing what I intended to do. So can I let go of these thoughts for now? And after all, this isn't even related to what I would be talking about at the end anyway. So all of this stuff is not focusing on the breath. Can I let go of all of these thoughts? And it's just funny. I guess one of the reasons I want to share it too is just to see how a thought links to a thought, links to a thought, links to a thought. And then the original thought that maybe had to do with meditation, we're not thinking about that anymore either. So we're way far away. And so you can see how long was I gone, right? In this case, not very long, but you can go a bunch of steps in a not a very long period of time, and seeing that all these kind of related thoughts come up, and this can be your meditation, and this is my meditation. This is often how my meditations go. Especially I guess what's especially funny is that initial commentary, like, wow, oh man, this is it. This is I feel so focused. I can really feel my belly moving today. And then I guess it's those spaces of silence that I don't know what happens. It's my mind is just probably like your mind, very active, and wanting to constantly get away and go do something entertaining and think about this or think about that, because that's what my mind is used to doing. So I'll look through the chat now. Yeah, that thought train can really take off. Thanks, John. And it sure can. And I guess, can you... I mean, maybe that's the contrast. I think that this is something that can be frustrating if you've ever found meditation to be really peaceful. Those times when the meditation isn't peaceful, when the meditation is full of thoughts, can you be open to it being that way? Can you be okay with your mind how it is today? This is my mind. This is who's showing up today. And I'm doing my best. As long as I'm doing my best, that's all that matters. Jean says, my mind wandered off to the difference between focused attention and open awareness. Thanks, Jean. Okay, I will be back in 1 week from today. So we're having that little road trip to Malaysia. I guess for those of you that don't know, there are two bridges across this island, or on the north side of this island of Singapore, that lead us to Malaysia. So we're heading off tomorrow for a little holiday. So looking forward to getting out. It will be kind of fun. So of course I'll keep up my practice while I'm out, and I hope you do too. And and I'll see you again on Tuesday, where we'll talk about the third bull. The third bull is perceiving the bull. So finally, after starting to search for the bull, after seeing some footprints, we finally get our first glimpse of the bull. And so what's that like? What's MMTCP? It's maybe some mindfulness program. Thanks, Colleen. Thank you, Caesar. The 10 bulls are Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Those guys didn't all play at the same time. Shouldn't it be like one, like the Dream Team? What was the Dream Team? I forgot. Gary says, do you get days when you feel really emotional? Absolutely, I do. And you know what? I think what I remind myself during the days that I get really emotional is that this, and I think that it has to be this cognitive remembrance, right? You remind yourself, and you remember to remind yourself through your practice as well. So on emotional days, I keep practicing, and I do remind myself that this state is not permanent. That how I'm feeling right now won't be the same way that I'm feeling tomorrow or the next day or the next day. It may not even be the same way I'm feeling an hour from now. And I think this is really one of the keys to getting through these really strong emotional days. Just knowing that your state is not permanent. And I think also it's good to remind yourself when you're, and on the and I guess when I see emotional days, that means probably negative emotions. But I also try to remind myself on the really positive emotional days that this is an impermanent state, not to get too caught up on it because my emotions are going to be changing. My emotions are in flux, So I hope that's helpful. Thanks for your donation, Gary. Mindfulness Meditation Teacher Certification Program with Tara Brock and Jack Cornfield. Thanks, Colleen. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I am familiar with this program. That's great. I'm really excited. I hope you're enjoying that course. Jack was just on Wisdom. I watched him on a little bit on Wisdom 2.0. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thanks, Barbara, for your well wishes. Thanks everybody for your well wishes on my travel. And speaking of well wishes, okay, I'll just go back, finish this. Wisdom 2.0 is it's like a conference that's held yearly by I forgot his name. The host of Wisdom 2.0, Soren. Yeah, his name's Soren, Soren, and you can find. I think they've uploaded on YouTube some clips from Wisdom 2.0. There's one of Jack Cornfield and the what do you call it, the CEO of OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT. So that's pretty that's pretty interesting. In the meantime, come to the circle. Yes, Ryan's Daily Mindfulness Circle here on Insight Timer. It's our group. We have some chat in there. Where there are meditations when I'm gone. So Jean is so kind to host those. So please feel free to join in and keep practicing. That's the real key, is to keep practicing. Let's send our well wishes to each other and to everybody else. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, whatever time it is, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all human beings around this world, big and small, near and far, good and bad, hungry, fulfilled, at war, at peace, sick or well, may we all be happy and peaceful. Thanks, everybody. See you in 1 week. Bye-bye.